What's going on, everybody? This is Sergey from MMA Soap Opera, cause that's what it is. And today the main topic of the video is going to be all the news revolving the welterweight bout between Belal Muhammad and Shavkat Rakhmonov. But at the end of the video, we'll also touch on what could be next for Max Holloway. But before we do any of that, guys, do me a favor and make sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. It costs you nothing but helps the channel immensely. And with that out of the way, let's jump to the main topic. So unfortunately, Belal Muhammad, as everyone already knows by now, is out from the bout with Shavkat Rakhmonov, which was originally scheduled for UFC 310. Everyone is disappointed about it, including me. It's been a while since we saw Shavkat Rakhmonov in the octagon. I got a whole bunch of respect for Belal for taking that fight in the first place as his first defense of the title. And yeah, if I would think about the skills that those two fighters had, it really felt like this could be a really exciting match. Both of the fighters pretty well rounded, really good wrestling. Both of the fighters having a pressuring style. The main difference is that one of them is a finisher and the other one is not. Anyways, I felt like that could be a really good matchup. One thing that I find interesting about Shavkat Rakhmonov is that he kinda in some aspects reminds me of Khamzat Chimaev. I guess in the sense that both of the fighters are really dominant. Both of them of course have this boogeyman aura around them. It's kinda sad that it's so difficult for Khamzat Chimaev to make weight for this weight class, because if these two guys would clash against each other, that would be probably the biggest fight of the year. But regardless, Khamzat Chimaev went up in the weight class, which is good. What makes, in my opinion, Shavkat Rakhmonov so exciting is that not only he is finishing his opponents left and right, but the fact that here and there he gets clipped and sometimes he gets in trouble. I think that's the exciting part about him. Obviously, we're watching MMA, anything could happen, but it's always much more exciting to watch a fighter who's maybe so dominant but has a little weaknesses here and there. It's like a Superman syndrome, right? The most powerful man in the world, but of course has his own kryptonite. But anyways, I'm not really insisting on Shavkat Rakhmonov to fight for the belt next necessarily. I just want him to get a little bit more active, because this is another thing that he has in common with Khamzat Chimaev. He's fighting way too rarely. I was just gonna complain about Peyton Talbot as well, but luckily he just got a fight booked for January 18th, so that's good. He's my favorite prospect at the moment, so I'm mad that he's not fighting more often. Anyways, what are the possibilities for Shavkat Rakhmonov? Of course, a lot of people are hoping that maybe Kamaru Usman would jump in the fight. Kamaru recently showed a footage of him training and he instantly got taunted and called out by Buckley. But in my opinion, Kamaru Usman versus Shavkat Rakhmonov would be way more interesting. And then another possibility that people are talking about is Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Ian Gary. Ian Gary actually just reposted an older video in which he's talking about Shavkat Rakhmonov and how this fight would be really interesting for him. He's being pretty respectful in the video, but he's saying that both of the fighters are undefeated, they train together, and he feels like he could take him out. If that fight would be booked, I would have so much respect for Ian Gary, because clearly Shavkat Rakhmonov is having a hard time getting a fight. But otherwise, I kind of got an impression from Ian Gary that he's kind of focusing more on his stuff, and apart from here and there talking shit to Colby Covington, maybe he's waiting for the division to kind of sort itself out, you know. But yeah, Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Kamaru Usman or Ian Gary would be an incredible matchup. I'm kind of hoping that Shavkat Rakhmonov and Belal Muhammad are not gonna necessarily get rebooked and postponed. I'm really hoping that we will see Shavkat Rakhmonov in the cage by the end of this year. Alright, another potential fight that I would like to talk about, and this one sort of came in the aftermath of UFC 308, is of course Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. I know that they already fought twice, and actually the very first fight of Max Holloway in 2012 was against Dustin Poirier. Yeah, I know he got submitted pretty fast. Then they had a second fight in 2019 and that one was way closer. But again, Dustin Poirier won by unanimous decision. But in my opinion, of course, apart from this loss to Ilia Topuria, I think that Max Holloway has been looking absolutely incredible in the last fights. And I would kind of argue that he looks better in the lightweight division as well. So if you think about it, Dustin Poirier is talking about his retirement fight. And having a third fight against Max Holloway in the lightweight division, and maybe for the BMF belt, that would be a way to go out for Dustin Poirier. On the other hand, Max kinda needs some time to recover from that KO loss to Ilia Topuria. So we'll see, but it doesn't seem like Dustin Poirier is in a rush. Then another alternative matchup for both Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier, if they wouldn't fight each other, would of course be Conor McGregor.
The official weight for Conor McGregor!
But I kinda don't wanna go too deep into this because my hope for Conor McGregor's comeback is kinda near the point of non-existence, to be honest.
Ah, stop.
Alright guys, this was it for today's video. If you liked it, make sure to hit like, but also don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. Before I wrap it up today, I would like to give a shout out to a couple of my friends that are supporting me, namely David and Anichka, then my brother Eric, and my friend Andrea, who I call endearingly the Baboon of Darkness. Alright guys, have a great one. This was Sergey from MMA Soap Opera, cause that's what it is.